In this video, we're going to show you how you can hand carve the letters of the alphabet. If we start by looking at the reason that we carve the alphabet upon a piece of wood, so it's as good a point to start as any, is basically we do a lot of love spoons, we have groups in and we're often personalising them, and this method then we're going to demonstrate is just a quick method of personalising the love spoons with initials. So for example, a love spoon with 1 heart or 2 hearts, we would carve a little initial into the spoon itself. So it just makes it a bit more personal. And so whatever woodwork that you're doing, this is really a great method and a technique to learn. I would actually suggest that you could start a business almost, around this method. So some of the examples of things that you could make and then personalise with initials are things like key rings. You've got any sort of name plaque. I don't know, there's something like a bedroom sign maybe. It just, any product that you're actually making or anything that you're working on, if you can personalise it, it certainly gives it a completely different dimension. On another occasion, we'll do a video showing how we actually carve full names, because that's relatively straightforward as well. But as you can see, what we do to put the initials on, you just build up the shape using various fingernail gouges. So the one we're working on at the moment is the C. So we do the back, the top and the bottom. And then where we're done, you're basically doing stop cuts down into the wood. And then afterwards, we just take a little bit of detail. And then the spoons, we finish with shellac, sand and sealer. And then afterwards, when you put the initials on, you can just use a little bit of oil, and the oil will bring out where you've carved. So the shellac, basically, what happens when we put initials on, you are cutting through the shellac. So you're actually taking your finish away. And then the oil, that is a method that we use to protect it quickly. The reason for it, of course, you can re-shellac, but the reason we use oil, we have coach groups visiting us, and we have to carve quickly. So the coach group is usually with us for, say, 45 minutes to an hour, but we have to personalise the love spoons in the time that they're with us. Otherwise, we're going to have to sort of go running into hotels and different things like that. So, depending on the coach, you can be carving several love spoons within a short space of time. And this method allows us to personalise relatively quickly. Going through the alphabet. The wood that I'm using for this example is a piece of mahogany. It's just an offcut of mahogany that we had there. So it's a nice enough, not the best quality of mahogany, but not the worst either. And it's a recycled piece of mahogany. So that's where we usually sort of source our timber from. The G, as you'll find with some of these different letters, it's basically a modified C. So it's the same carving process to do the G. It's just at the bottom we make that bit a little bit longer and then just put a little piece on the top just to finish it, just like so. But yeah, whatever you're working on, this is a really good method. It's a simple method to learn. And it just adds another dimension to your work, because if you make things personal, it just, from a selling point of view, you know, if you're looking to get into wood carving as your work, I would suggest that this is an invaluable skill, because it can sort of make your product stand out, because you can make it unique and personal to the individual. We also then do numbers, because people like either, you know, if it's a birthday or an anniversary, the number of the anniversary or birthday. The full names then, I use a slightly different method. We're using the main gouge that I use is a beautiful little Sorby one. It's an older Sorby one, but I'm imagining that they would describe it as one of their micro gouges. So that does a good job for us. Now the J, I used to do it a bit more curly, but we've straightened it up a little bit. So it's just a good example that there's no rules or regs, whatever style. And that's the thing as well, the font, you know, different people use different fonts, and when you do this, you may find that yours come out slightly differently, because your gouges are liable to be slightly different in shape and size to ours. But this is basically part of the process then, is to make it do what works for you. It's your wood carving at the end of the day, and all we try to do is to give you methods and ideas that might prove useful. Up to K. And I find with this, when I have the groups in, I always write the initials down. So there's a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, you can double check with the person that you've got the right initials. And secondly as well, writing letters, I don't know why, but it's got a slightly different feel to it than carving them. So for instance, there's certain letters that I always find that I want to carve backwards. I don't know why. If anyone's got an explanation for that one. Just must be something to do with the way my brain is sort of wired up. So I find that if I can see them in front of me, you can just double check it and make sure that you're doing correctly. I've just noticed, and as I'm going quickly, this is just for demonstration purpose, I've just noticed that I'm just rising up a little bit, so we're going to bring that back. I'm going to bring that back a little bit, so just drop that one down a little bit, and drop that one down. That's it, just like so. And the M, for example, the M is very similar to doing a W. Only difference is one is up the one way, one is up the other way. So in summing up, the method that you use, you do your stop cuts, you cut down a little bit into the stop cuts just to bring out a little bit of detail. So you're cutting through the shellac or whatever finish that you use. Afterwards then you put a little bit of oil and that just brings out the carving, raises the grain. Well, it just contrasts really, sorry. It's the shellac that raises the grain and brings out the character of the wood. You just contrast in the finish. And the reason we use the oil, as I said, we got groups coming in regularly and it is a quick method of finishing it. There's certain woods you can't do that on, things like ramming, Idigbo, the oil will soak into the pores and it will make it blotchy. Certain types of beech that can happen on as well. So those ones you would have to re-shellac to finish. So what I'm going to do now, just to finish it off, just so you can see it, we're going to turn it round to face the camera, just like so, and move those gouges out the way, and then we're going to just put a little bit of oil all over our list. As I say, normally we would use shellac, but this is a quick demonstration. The main thing is that you've got the actual skill of being able to hand carve the letters, just like so. And that's perfect. You can use that on a love spoon, you could use it on a key ring, you could use it on, if you've made something like a fridge magnet. We've done it before on clocks and barometers. You can use it on house signs, sort of simple little signs. Anything at all. It's just a simple little method for how you can hand carve basic letters onto a piece of wood. So hopefully that will be useful. Thank you all again for watching. Put a little like if you've liked what we've done. Don't forget as well, if you want to see more videos from us, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you know when our videos are uploaded. And as always, we'll be back again soon with more videos. Thank you all again for watching.